Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Robinhood Capitalist. I'm your host, DJ Flores. As always, with me, my trusted coach and mentor advisor, Coach Stacey V. What's up, Coach?
What's up? How are you, man?
Good. So, how is the event going? How? Let's give a little preview. So, for anybody who didn't catch Tuesday's episode, Coach is in Dallas at TaxCon. Correct? Okay. Biggest
Tax growth,
event, tax
yeah,
growth.
Tax
Okay.
Growth Con 2023.
Give a little bit about it. Give the excitement, kind of what has been going on. What have you been really helping out with? I know you're running a few different things. I know you shared our intro music that we'll get to here in a second when you came out, which I was so proud of that. I'm so happy you did that. So thank you. But
Yeah, so
just
everybody's
share
got to have
everybody what it's
walk up.
about.
Everybody's got to have a walk up song when you go to the stage. So that was my walk up song. But no, this has been fun. You heard about this first when we had David Perez, our podcast guest, on, and
Yes.
this was an event. He called me probably 3 years ago. I was sitting on mic at home, and he called me. He's like, "Hey, I got this idea, something big we can do for the tax and accounting industry. This I don't think it's ever been done before, and I think we can do it." And we kind of talked through it. And a lot of people call me with big ideas, and we talk through, and then they die on the vine, right? But
Yeah. Yeah.
David is persistent, man. He is persistent, and he stuck after it. And so this is the second one of these events that we've done. It's for the tax and accounting industry, but we don't really spend a lot of time talking about nuts and bolts of taxes. What we're trying to help people do is scale their business so that they can live the life that they want to live. And so this is a business growth conference is what it's really all about. So we've got between live and virtual, we've got probably 500 or more folks in attendance, about
Wow.
300 here live. Parties at night for the folks, and nice meals that we've been sharing together. And it's just been a really, really good time.
Oh, that's so
You know, my,
fun. So,
and so
David,
my role,
I'm not surprised
you
David didn't run with it. Go
yeah,
ahead.
he ran with it. And role and these both of these, what I offered to David is like, dude, man, this is incredible. Help you out, whatever age or moving furniture. I just want to help you make this the best it can be. So I've had a couple of sessions of my own. I created a new program, a new course that I'm offering called the Leadership Accelerator course. So I got to talk a lot about that this week. I give him a break, doing him seed and things. It's been other than seems that just internal have a team of does best all the people around him. And um, like any big event, it has been perfect, but
Coach, I'm gonna put you in the back. Coach is having some technical difficulties, so we're gonna get this show started. Hopefully he comes back and he's got some bars here, but he is losing connection. So I'm going to hit us to the intro, and we'll be right back, y'all.
You get one heartbeat song. Take it seriously. This is your masterpiece. Don't forget to dream and taste the colors in the air you breathe. It's your masterpiece. Go ahead and feel it all. Don't stop till it is beautiful. Don't stop till it is beautiful. Don't stop till it is beautiful.
All right, Coach. I think we're back. I think we're good. It looks like your connection's still kind of off, but we'll go with it. So,
if
obviously,
it
Enrique,
flops again, I'll go back to the phone again. It's hard to do this on the phone. The screen is so small.
yeah, it is very hard. I know. You're kind of you're cutting in and out the whole time, so I apologize to y'all if there is some back and forth. But so we are recapping. Obviously, this is episode 10. We are recapping Tuesday's episode with Enrique Medina from ATAX. If y'all don't remember the bird. Look for the bird, the eagle, the ATAX eagle. Again, we're just recapping the show with him. It was such a pleasure having him on. He is. If you, hopefully you all liked it. Hopefully you got some great information. Some of the things he really honed in on and really kept reinforcing. Some of the things that we're very strong on here as well, and that's community. Um, that's family. He shout out to his family business, uh, but and it's community, it's help. He always it seemed like every other word was I want to help. I just want to help, just trying to help. And I think that's what we're really that's our goal here with the Robinhood Capitalists too. We are just here to help. We really want to be that help in any way that we can, whether it's just like I said, a quick 15-minute call, which I'll give the little again book a call with Coach Stacey B. You won't be disappointed. Just 15-minute call. Just might be a quick some advice, just some guidance. Maybe you're stuck, you're feeling lost, you're not really sure what's next. Reach out. We really do want to be uh, that I guess extra voice. Masterminding kind of so Ray Dalio, one thing that I didn't have a actual name for until learning it from Ray Dalio was triangulating. And triangulating, very simply for in Ray Dalio's breakdown of it, is kind of bouncing an idea from three trusted advisors, get the three, and usually they have different views, and so that let us be one of those. Maybe we're the very optimistic, we're going to sell you the dream and it sounds very crazy. You want that, reach out to me. If you want a little more guidance and structure and kind of focus, reach out to Coach Stacey. But we really do want to be that voice for you to take to the next level, whatever that next level is for you. Again, everybody doesn't have to reach for the stars, and everybody doesn't have to be the next Elon or Bill Gates. We want you in the end. Our goal of the show, again, episode 10. This is 10 now. So hopefully y'all have liked it. But our goal in the end is really, and Coach, I put a number on it. I thought our mission of not of just helping families create their heaven on earth and find financial harmony was too broad. So we're going for 10,000. So 10,000 families. We want to help really just guide whatever that next step is to financial harmony. Again, I believe, in my opinion, and from a study that was done about happiness, a study done about happiness that's been the longest study ever done by Harvard. Look it up; it's an amazing story. But 75,000 was the number. Now, I get it. There's people who like to live a little bit more, a little bit better, but I truly think 100,000 is the number. I think most people can be happy and live pretty darn good if they're making 100 grand a year. And I think if you can do that passively or through businesses, now that is the freedom. That's the freedom that we want to help you find.
Yeah, the key for me here is we talked about it one of the last shows, DJ, is focus always on growth. We all have goals, and you may or may not hit them, but if you focus on growth, you're going to have a much better chance of hitting the goals. So what I try to help everybody do is just wake up tomorrow and be better than you were today. And if you do that every day for the rest of your life, it gives you something to always live for. And we find happiness and purpose. And so my purpose with everything I do is to change the world. And I do that by being that pebble on the pond. I work with one person, and those ripples go out to everybody that they interact with. And I know for a fact that I can make a difference just by being a better me every day when I wake up.
Yes. Now, one thing I loved that Enrique talked about a lot was he loves what he does. And I think for some people that sounds, yeah, you can't love it. It's still work. No, you can. And really, that's one of John's biggest things. If you aren't happy going into work on Mondays, you are in the wrong business. That's right from John Hewett himself. Uh, and that's really the truth. That's what we want you all to find. That happiness that you've seen if you caught the episode from Tuesday with Enrique. I mean, he really, and again, he went away from his family business. His family business in the clothing world, quinceañeras, stuff like that. And but he obviously had a different calling, a different purpose, a different, and we talked about the lonely road of that as well. But even lonely, you see how he just kept talking about how much he loved what he did, and that's love. We're gonna harp a lot on that today because we do have a new outro song that I love. I absolutely love. But we even have a video that we'll kind of get deep here at the end with talking more about love. But going back to Enrique, so again, talked a lot about loving what he does and talked about community. Coach, with you have worked in this space for a while in the tax world, the tax industry, even your event you're at now. How deep does that tie to the community, and how much can it really make a difference to people?
Well, it can make a difference in any community, and it doesn't necessarily even have to be like a concept. We're talking about a job, a career, a business that we're going to start. It doesn't even have to be in like an industry that you think, oh boy, I'd really love to be in that industry, because I never would have joined the tax industry at all. I had no love for that at all. I distrust government. I think they waste their money. But what I found a community of people that I absolutely did love, and we had a purpose, a sense of purpose. We understood that no one of us was greater than all of us, and we were building something bigger than we ever dreamed we could do together. And that sense of purpose gave me happiness. That sense of having the tribe around me that I love, that made me happy. And so yeah, don't limit your thinking to I only love this one thing. You can find a passion in places that you may not even expect to find it if you're just willing to take the leap.
I want to dig deeper on that. Because you hit on something that I think they do run, and most people I think confuse the two. But so purpose and passion. So you can have a passion for certain things, but like I believe we were all given a gift, some gift. That's why we're here. I think uh, that's the only reason we're here, is to really fully bring that gift out, whatever that gift is, and that's what we want to do with you, with anybody watching this, and that's why it's called Unlocking Entrepreneurial Insights. We really want to unlock the box that we believe that you may or may not be in, but if you feel like you're stuck, you probably are stuck in. Could be a passion, but not the right passion. That could be a profession to turn into your purpose, like Coach is talking about. But when you can pair the two, your passion with your profession and your purpose, and then the bigger part, and that's one thing that I loved and why I'm here, why I uprooted my family, said, okay. I didn't even know John Hewitt, didn't even know he'd come in my world, 6 months ago, and then 2 months ago I say, oh, we're gonna move, and we're just moving here, and I don't even know totally what the vision is, but I just believe in it. And it was really a lot in what Enrique talked about, and again, another thing John's really big on is be a part of a bigger vision. And I could think kind of what you're talking about as well, Coach, is once you become a part of a team or community that is all working for the same goal, the same purpose, uh, it's unbelievable. It
Yeah, it is, and kind of your definition of what makes you happy. You'll learn the real definition for you. I've been a part of a couple of startups, and if you've ever been a part of a startup, it's not always the money that's the attractive part. It's not benefits, because they don't always they aren't always there.
no,
It's not the hours, because usually there's a lot of really long, arduous hours, because you're having to do a little bit of everything. And so all the things that a lot of people would tell you are the definitions of success and happiness, you find out that no, that's not it. Because when I was in there working the hardest for the least return monetarily, just because it was something that felt so important and so good to go out and help others and to get to that next level, you find out that what your real passion and it really is. And so even though I started as a tech guy, what I learned real quick is no, my passion is really in helping people. And so from tech to training to sales and all the other things that my career has taken me through, at every level, I've looked for ways, how can I help a lot of other folks? So even when I joined Liberty and John Hewitt, when I joined 20 years ago, I identified that in their technology world, they had a bunch of franchisees out there that didn't know a lot about it. And so I said, well, I know what my passion is. I think I can fill this void. And the first thing I did was created a training that was specifically designed to help the business owners get the technology in their stores where it needed to be in a way that they could use it and it wouldn't be obtrusive when they absolutely needed it. And so wherever you are, you can find a way to do some things that you're passionate about. And when you make yourself more valuable, whatever it is that you're doing right now, you're going to grow and you're going to get to do greater, bigger things. But yeah, I found my passion in places that you wouldn't think that it could it could happen.
No, I like that you said that. Oh, so one thing going back to Enrique, so obviously he does. I believe it. I mean, it was coming through. It was so evident. He has a passion for
Yes.
accounting. He does, and I'll tell you. So high school, I had shared on there. I that was I thought my passion, and if I don't even maybe we shared it on the show, or maybe I was just talking about this somewhere else, but. I mean, if I was forced, no, I was talking about it with John actually the other day. But if I was forced to choose what I wanted to do as a profession, and at 17 or 18, like in we had I was lucky to meet somebody from Czech Republic, and so they had to choose very young what they're doing, and that was just that was their profession. Like that's what you're doing. I would have ended up in accounting just because I fell in love with just seeing a bunch of numbers and it's basic. It's high school accounting. Um, but I completed the workbook before the curriculum. Actually, the curriculum only did two-thirds of the workbook. I did it all before the year was even done, just because I had an obsession with it. So I ended up going and doing some following, or some college and following afterwards, and intern or shadowing an accountant. And from meeting them, I realized I was different. I I was different than them. And especially with my crazy ideas, now I realized I'm very different. Because most accountants, when I talk to them, they look at me like I have either three heads or a horn coming out of my head because they are very to the numbers. They're very analytical. They're very black and white, and I am very gray. I am very anything is possible. Let's figure out how it works. And so I'm so glad that he was able to show the passion for it, but I'm so also glad that I didn't have to get stuck doing it at 17 because I would have been lost. People would have thought I was nuts. And so I'll tell you.
So did you ever take one of the actual tests that told you what you're supposed to be doing in life in those years?
I don't know. I don't think so. Uh, so the high school I went to, so I was blessed with my parents to go to private school, and that's where it, for me, I guess it kind of like revealed the curtain, the man behind the curtain, the Wizard of Oz. There's something else. And there was a different world. I came from not the world that private school kids mostly came from, and so I was very different, and I felt very different. I felt kind of like, and I've shared this with Maggie quite a bit, but felt a lot like, and anybody who 80s kids, you're gonna love this reference, but I felt a lot like the Karate Kid. I was not supposed to be there. I was the Karate Kid, and everybody else was Johnny. And I was not supposed to be there. And so yeah, I mean, even my first day here, I'll tell you, this is how odd high school was for me. My first day of high school, private school. I came from my graduating class in my grade school that I went to. There was only 16 of us in the whole class. That was my eighth grade class, but that was my same class from second grade till eighth grade, just 16 people. Then I go to this big private high school where it's very different. And my first day, I get called to the office because I had a line in my hair because my mom cut my hair and she didn't know how to blend. So that was when she finally had to send me somewhere to get it cut somewhere else. So shout out, mom. Hey, you made it last as long as you could.
So just to go back to middle school here for a second,
Yeah, yeah.
somebody yesterday posted a little clip of what I was doing on the stage on Facebook, and my wife just kind of, retweeted or resent it on Facebook. And my middle school English teacher responded, and the response was, "It looks like all those oral book reports really did pay off."
I agree. I agree. I think that
And
was the best thing I did. I think that was the best thing they made me do too, is get up and talk, because that must be what I was supposed to do. But I
I'll
didn't
tell you
know
what,
it.
everybody on here listening, if you want to increase one skill that will give you more influence and give you better traction in life, that any skill you could increase, it's your ability to speak publicly. That's
Yes.
a big game changer.
So we're gonna obviously go off topic. We'll get back to Enrique and ATAX and everything because I do want to go back to that. But uh, I like that you said that. I think that's probably, besides cold calling for sales, anybody in the sales world, that's a very scary unknown that most people are just so afraid of. But public speaking, that I've seen people break down. I've seen people just book out the room. Yeah. It is a very scary thing that I think. What would you say, before I get into what I think? What would you say? Do you think is the biggest, like, hurdle or crutch that is holding somebody back? Like, what is that
Fear.
biggest fear? But what is the biggest fear? Do you,
It's a fear that I'm going to get up there and embarrass myself in front of people and say something maybe that sounds silly. And the truth of the matter is if you do it enough times, you are going to say something stupid and you are going to embarrass yourself. And it's really no big deal because you were there to help and to add value. And so the way to get over it is just to do it. But what happens, DJ, is if you most people who start out with this, they think that it's all about the words that they're going to use to convey a message. And so they focus on memorizing the speech and
Mhm.
memorizing the speech. And that's a terrible way to design what you want to talk, is just to sit there and focus solely on the words. The truth of the matter is, when it comes to connecting with an audience, your body language is 55% of what's gonna connect. Your words are only 7, and your tone is the rest, the 30 some odd percent that are left over there. And so what happens is you focus on those words and you get on stage, and as soon as your brain gets on something else and you lose a word, where you're physiologically, those changes go on in your body, the fight or flight hits, and the blood rushes from your brain where you need it to your limbs, because it says, dude, you're in trouble, we got to get out of here. And it literally, when he says my brain froze, it, your brain does freeze.
Mhm.
And so what I try to help people do is just learn to tell the stories, to learn to be themselves and find their own voice. Because another thing I see people do is they see that we're always comparing ourselves to others. And so you see these great speakers, like we love Les Brown and we love Zig Ziglar, and we see all these people, and you can't try to be them. They're them, you're you. Just find your voice and focus on the audience and how you can add value to them, and it becomes a whole lot easier. But literally, physiologically, when you get up on stage and that's all you've worried about is memorizing the perfect speech, it turns out rough. And if you sit there and read it so that you won't forget it, then it turns out rough. If you go up there and you're not presenting the right body language, it can be rough. And what I'm going to tell you is it's worth being rough, because all of us who do this, we're terrible at the beginning. You just, if it's worth doing poorly until you get better at it. You just keep going until you get better at it. But I think it's a great skill. But even Enrique, he was talking about how he's building his business, and now he's getting into like area developer and other types of roles.
Mhm.
This one skill can up his game as well, as he's talking to potential business owners that he wants to bring in. It can help any business owner as they're communicating their vision to their team, because you have to convey it in a way that it's so clear that I understand it well enough to teach you, but more importantly, I can teach you in a way that you understand it enough that you can share it with others and they understand it. And so, regardless of what your position, you may never speak on a stage in your life, but increasing the skill will help you talk one on one. It'll help you talk to your team. It'll help you build your business. And so, it is absolutely worth working on.
Agreed. And I think Enrique, yeah, and you can tell he's comfortable speaking. He did pretty well here. And he's a great fit for what he's growing over there. I
And,
mean,
and he seems like he came across as a natural storyteller, and that's a skill he should probably leverage, is that natural ability to connect with people through the stories that he can tell.
I agree. That was the same thing that I felt the first time we talked. I'm like, wow, we don't even. I think we talked. So, sh- little behind the scenes info for y'all watching. Always have a call with our guest prior to, just to make sure we're kind of same vibe, same. And this was really just advice from my first kind of mentor in this podcast world and space. But Dan Deegan, shout out. We would always have a call just because again, if their message is not the same, we don't want mixed messages, but we also want to understand and be on the same level with each other. So uh, talking with him, I think usually I try to do like 20, 25 minutes. I think we were on for like 10 or 15 minutes, and he dropped so many things, and he was so good at, the Robinhood. We still have to get to that story a little bit more, but he has somebody who he took under his wing to mentor as a franchisee. He now is living the great life. He kind of shared a little bit about him. And the franchise world, he said he's never going back to the employee world, and is just loving the new venture. And he came from Robinhood. He was part of the big, IT cut of the corporate world. So yeah, we'll share that obviously with Enrique when we have him back on. He was so impressive. I was blown away just even having it with him on here. I could have had him just share stories. We could have dove deeper into his family's business. We could have dove deeper into so many things, into community, into just helping and wanting to give back. How big he was, very big on that. And then even just he was very, you touched on something, and I want to go back to that because I think as small business owners, as new business owners, we kind of lose track or focus on what is the actual goal. Was just, again, being here, taking the risk and coming here has been such a huge blessing. Being able to just sit in and be around anytime that John's talking. One of the things that John was talking to somebody struggling with certain things in business was about really just focusing first on the actual problem. Forget anything else that could be there. Well, what is the actual goal? What is the actual, like, there kept, as she was talking through it, she kept bringing up other hurdles, but he's like, no, but what is the actual? And I think, one thing Enrique did really well was he has a goal. I mean, he was dead set. He had a number, he had a goal, he had a focus. Yeah, I mean, he's tracking progress. They went from 2021 two offices to 2022 or 2023. So either 2022, 2023, or 2021, 2022, from two offices to six offices. And so, I mean, his growth plan is there, and he has a vision of where he wants to go. And I don't think there's any stopping him. How often do
Mhm.
you find new business owners that you're working with that just don't even have goals or don't even know where they want to go?
It doesn't even have to be a new business owner. It's business owners and executives in general. Statistically, only about 3% of people actually write down their goals, and we know that you're about 50% more likely to achieve a goal just by the simple act of writing it down. And so it's not something that most people do, regardless of how long they've been in. And so a lot of what my coaching is about is helping people find their ideal life that they want to lead, and then the strategies that will get them there. And so most of what we focus on is clarity, focus, and priorities to help them make sure they're working on the right things at the right time with the right people. Even during this week, we've got a group of very successful people that are here. Every morning I'm hitting them with, okay, if you're going to live life with intention the way we need to, what did you write down as your goal for the day from this event? How many people are you going to network with? Who is it you're going to actively seek out? What skill are you going to learn more about while you're here? And I said, write it down every day to make this event productive, or else you're going to do what most of us do in an event. We have a really good time, we leave motivated, and we get home and do nothing. We go right back to our comfort zone. So you ask, how often this is what my coaching is all about, because we all need a little push to stay on the focus path. But I didn't prep him, and I wasn't sure because I wasn't on the pre-call, so I wasn't sure what he was prepped to answer. But I asked him about the future growth. What I most liked is he didn't really have to think about it. He knew he had a goal that he's obviously been thinking about. And just one more thing, real quick, that act of writing it down is super important because everything that we have in this world is the product of two creations. There's the creation of the idea in the mind, and then the manifestation of it into reality. And as you write down that goal, the physical act of writing it on paper is the first physical manifestation of that goal coming true. And so that simple act of writing it down is huge, and so few people do it.
Uh, I'm diving deeper in there, and it was like you were reading my mind, Coach. But I'm telling you, I believe this. Listen, I'll be the woo-woo on here, guys. Let me be the deep woo-woo sad guru, whatever you want to call me. But um, I think my belief is, and I believe this with my heart and soul. Whatever you say, you give life to, and whatever you write down, you're giving life to. Like I believe it truly is. Then it's out there, and be careful what you wish for, because it will come true. You focus on it, you write it out there, you write it enough, you say it enough, it's going to happen. I believe that with my heart, soul, everything within me says that if you write that out or you say it, just get ready.
So part of what I talked to the group about yesterday was engaging the subconscious mind to get it on our side for goal achievement and to get the things we want. And you're absolutely right. You are the most important person you talk to every day, and you've got to use a better language the way you're talking to yourself. If you continually, because what most of us do, we don't think about what we want in life. We think about what we don't want. We think about what we want to avoid. Oh, I can't have that happen. Ooh, what if this happens? And we continually think about what we don't want. And we become what we think about the most often. And so if you consistently think about that, what you don't want, that's what you get. And we've got to stop that cycle. And so that was what I was talking about. And then as one of our speakers here, we had the world's greatest hypnotist, and he's also works with Fortune 500 businesses and presidents and everybody. So he's very well known. Marshall Silver, if you want to look him up, he was phenomenal in the party where he actually did do the group hypnotism show. But then his talk of how we can all learn to reprogram our minds was very powerful from the stage. It was awesome to hear. But he said exactly that. You've got to, you're going to become what you continue to tell yourself. And so what he teaches you how to do is basically self-hypnosis to work through and get through to the subconscious part of your brain. It was cool, and he's a interesting cat.
I'm sure he is. He's probably into the woo woo, and we can talk forever. I would love to talk to him. But yeah,
he lives in a he likes to talk about this, but he has like a 17,000 square foot home in Las Vegas, and drives a Rolls and has his jet. So just kind of hanging out and
oh geez.
And hearing him, and he's a shameless self-promoter, which is not a bad thing. We've talked about that too with John.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, listen, again, Grant Cardone probably says that best, but like him or hate me, like me or hate me, at least you know me, and that's one of the things. That's one of the things Grant likes to say a lot. Now I want to go back to a little deeper into. Shoot, I lost the point of what you had.
I'm sorry. We started out with getting the subconscious engaged and being careful what we speak to ourselves.
Yes, I know, and I lost it. Maybe we'll get back to that. So, ATAX. So ATAX, again, for anybody who didn't catch, part of Loyalty Brand's flagship, obviously John Hewitt with his background, like Enrique, very I'll just say, I mean, he said it right out. He said, John shares in his book. He's created over 1,000 millionaires. He said, we're next. And that's literally clearly why he's here and what he believes. He believes in the vision. And I think that's, as leaders, that's what we lose focus on. We think that we could just tell people what to do. But if we can influence them to believe as much as we believe, then that's the real change that when you can see the culture change, when you can see everybody's on, like you said, the same goal, same tribe, same mission. There's no stopping you.
So I should have asked this of Enrique, but I'll ask you because you're around the loyalty group quite often.
Mm-hmm.
How often does the vision and principles come up when you guys are meeting?
Always. Always.
Always.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the right answer. I learned that from John. That's the right answer because we think that, we've told them our vision, they've got it. No, they don't. It's constantly reinforcing over and over and over. And just about the time you think, I can't talk about this vision and mission and principles one more time, that's when they're just starting to listen, and you got to keep going and keep going. Everything you do. And so you're absolutely right, man. It starts with that clear vision. I love the fact that Enrique had, because what you could tell from him is he sees something in the overall vision that he can become a part of that's going to change his life and the lives of the people that he loves.
Yeah.
That's what a good vision can do. It makes you want to go be a part of it. When I first joined John at the other company, it was the same way. I looked at what he was doing. I looked at what he had done, and I said, I think if I hitch my wagon to this one, it might work out. And it worked out. It was a good run. Yeah.
It worked out really
well. It was a good run, but it was his vision. People will buy into something that you can see and that they can see and feel part of. Because again, we all want to feel like we belong, that we're respected, and that we have a purpose about something greater than just ourselves.
Yes. Now, we're going to dive into the little bit deeper part for you guys here. I am going to share a video that so shout out to my beautiful wife, Maggie. She knows I'm a huge fan, if you didn't see from our intro song, and Andy Grammer, huge fan of Andy. And I think just like books, songs can really share. If you listen to certain artists like him, like even John Mayer has some great little life lessons in his songs. But I think they really can give you some guidance, can give you some idea of what the world's about in music. And so I think there's really any way that you can share a story to really get a powerful message across to other people. And so we're going to, the last couple minutes here, before we wrap up, because I know Coach is busy over there as well. He still is at the event, but I'm going to share this video. We're going to deep dive into this a little bit, and then we're going to highlight kind of next week. We don't have a guest totally planned yet, but I do want to focus our guest around this video because I want next week to really be, I know that we even just were talking about Enrique, and again, I know we've shared John's made over 1,000 millionaires. Money. The world's turned into money, and it's not money. If you learn what money is, if you don't know what money is, Rich Dad Poor Dad, just read the book, please. It will change your life. And money is just a tool. Money is not. It's just options. Money is the most crucial thing we do have is our time, and the best thing that we can ever get, as well as give, is love. And so I'm going to share this video, and then we'll get a little bit deeper into that. And then obviously you might know what next week's all about.
I am not merely an economic unit, I am human. How far off are we that can sound confusing? I want to strive for more, but oftentimes I don't know how to. I need a new money that measures my inherent value. What's your salary? What's your rate? What's your hourly wage? What's your position, your commission? How much are you for the day? When we meet somebody new, what is the first thing that we say? What do you do, aka, how much money do you make? And then we take that information and we sort it in our brains. Assess the value, calculate where to put them on the page. The hierarchy of importance, this is just insane. You're telling me that we've agreed to tie self-worth to what we're paid? You're telling me that we've agreed to tie self-worth to what we're paid? Well, what a grave mistake to make, what terrible advice to take. If the scoreboard counts in dollars, what kind of game you think we'll play? Yo, I am not merely an economic unit, I am human. How far off are we that can sound confusing? I want to strive for more, but oftentimes I don't know how to. I need a new money that measures my inherent value. But like my 4-year-old asking why until she's blue in the face, my inner child inquires about this money that we make. Why? I make money cause I need it. Why? So I can have financial freedom. Why? So I can keep up with the Joneses. Why? So someday I can own a home. And why? So I can climb the social ladder. Why? So I feel like I even matter. Why? Cause I'm constantly worried that I won't be enough. Why? Cause I'm worried without money I'm not worthy of love. I am not merely an economic unit, I am human. How far off are we that can sound confusing? I wanna strive for more, but oftentimes I don't know how to. I need a new money that measures my inherent value. But what if the scoreboard tallied love? What if the stock market valued love? What if your 401k was judged by how much you lifted others up? What if the best we could get was love? What if we were impressed with love? What if the status in class was love? What if it mattered how much you love? What if the money was not enough? What if we worked 9 to 5 for love? What if the point of this life was love? What if the point of this life was love? Yo, I am not merely an economic unit, I am human.
That's deep. And hopefully we are next week going to dive deeper into that, because I really think that we are at a crucial time in the world that money, we don't even know what money is going to eventually be. It could be digital this or digital that, or who knows. But we don't need that. We just need to share love. That's literally all we need is love. Love what you do, love who you're doing it with. Nothing else matters. Uh, it,
You turned into the Beatles there for a second.
it's all we need is love. It really is all we need. They knew it a long time ago. And I'm glad you said that, because I think music, I mean, again, music tells stories. Everything tells stories. And we have to share the knowledge that we learn, and the only way we can do that is by giving it away. So the only way to give your knowledge away is by love. Unless you're charging, then that's not love anymore. But give. Um, it literally, for me, I truly believe it is. Uh, from all the videos I've ever watched, from all the books I've ever read, for everything I've been listening to, even John Hewett himself in his book, he talks about his drive, his goal is to outgive his parents. I think there's a lot of us that strive to give, but we think when I get here, I can give money or I can give, but there's other ways to give than just money. Just talking to somebody, and encouraging, hey, you're doing a good job, especially if you know they're out there doing something and they're grinding on their own, like Enrique and we talked about on Tuesday's show. The entrepreneurship, being an entrepreneur is a very, very hard, lonely road. And I think
It doesn't have to be,
no, and yes, it doesn't have to be.
but that's the way a lot of people end up. Yeah. No, and
Dive
so
into that.
if I can just chime in here,
Yeah.
what we're trying to do here is just help you bring some balance, because you can't get too caught up into the rat race, into the game. We want to bring balance, help keep things in perspective. One of my favorite speakers ever is Zig Ziglar, and he's famous for saying you can have anything in this world you want if you just help enough other people get what they want. But he also said, he says, I'm not saying money's the most important thing in the world, but it ranks reasonably close to oxygen, because it is important, and we know it's important.
Absolutely.
But we have to keep it in perspective, of how we can generate and create the life that we want, and how we can do it in a way that is ethical, in a way that is just better for the world and better for our lives as a whole. Because if you get too solely focused on the one thing, it can tear you down. It can make you make some decisions that maybe go against your own values. And so we just want to help you keep things in perspective and balanced.
That's it.
And I'm in the business of business. Everybody thinks, well, you can help me build my business better, and that's part of what I do. But we start with, how can we make your life better? And it might not even be the business you're in. We can help work through those things. It's because we said this before, DJ. This ain't no dress rehearsal. You got one shot, and if you're not having fun, let's find a path and get some clarity on what you really want to do.
Yes. Yeah. And that's all about just talking. You have to talk through that. You have to share that. You have to share things that might be uncomfortable to talk to people about, but you have to find that mentor, that source, that person that you can you can share those dreams, those crazy ideas, those goals, those wants, and they can, like Coach Will. Coach Will, I promise you, he's not going to think you're crazy. He hasn't told me I'm crazy yet, although I know I'm crazy. Nothing's impossible to me, and I love that. And I don't think that will ever change for me because I failed enough that, like we talked about and started with this, you fail enough, you learn. There's nothing that no, you just learned what not to do. Like there's nothing else that happens. You just learned what not to do. Like I didn't die. I'm still here. I'm still here. Oh, I didn't die. I'm not. I've lost lots of money. I've lost lots of other things, but I didn't lose me. I didn't lose what makes me. I didn't lose the fresh 24 that I get to wake up with every day. And as long
Yeah,
as
failure is only failure if you quit.
that's it. That's it.
If you learn and grow and make improvements, it's a wonderful thing. And with Enrique, just in the short time I'm meeting him, my guess is that dude is going to make a lot of money in the coming years. But I also got this great feeling that he's going to be a huge giver and going to change people's lives along the way. And that's a really great, purposeful life.
Yes. Well, that's John. That's our. I'm pretty sure it was very close to Liberty's kind of vision or mission statement, but ours here, loyalty brands, have fun changing lives. Have fun changing lives. That's literally what we're trying to do. And it really, John, it rings from John all the way down. It's have fun and change lives, not make a bunch of money, not let's see if we can go from a millionaire to a billionaire, not any of these things except have fun, changing lives. Um, Now, I did, it came back to me when we were talking, and we could kind of go right back to it. So you were talking about um, they've most people where they fail is focusing on what they don't want instead of what they do want. And the greatest example I've ever heard of that is, and I'm not a downhill skier, so I don't know this for a rule of thumb for myself, but I can guarantee you I would just take the advice that I heard. But downhill skiers, they say if you focus on the tree, you're going to hit the tree. You don't see the trees. The whole goal is you don't see the trees. You see the path. You see the opening. Don't see the trees because you're going to run right into them. And I think that's where we get stuck. I don't want this. I don't want that. I don't. Well, what do you want? You're just talking about what you don't want. And if you're focusing on what you don't want, you're stuck there. And I think we all get stuck there a lot. So let's finish up there, and then we'll kind of go wrap it up.
Yeah, well, focus again is so important, and where your focus goes, your energy flows. And so we have to be very intentional about focusing on the right things. And we can choose to live our life as a victor or a victim. And no matter how positive you are, you'd have to be somewhat insane to be happy all the time. I mean, we have life ups and downs.
Yep.
The goal in life is to live more of your time as the victor than dropping below that line and blaming and making excuses for everything and all the stuff that the victims do. The goal here is to take with intention, take the control you can take, and try to live every day a little bit longer every day as that victor in life, and think on a different level, which is it's not easy. Thinking is one of the hardest things you get to do every day. That's why so few people do it.
Yes, yeah, because all of a sudden this thing goes everywhere, and
Yeah.
you can't focus. And focus, I love that you really honed on focus. I think clarity and focus are the two biggest things. One final thing we'll kind of go to and then wrap it up. Tom Bilyeu, I think he has a keynote that he did. Anybody check it out. It's probably one of the most powerful videos I watched, and he's just doing a question answer to people. And his big thing, Tom Bilyeu, anybody who doesn't know, he created Quest and the Quest bars, the health food thing, and then impact theory. And but his big thing is clarity and first principle. So just what is the thing that you want? Like forget everything else. Like I want to be an Olympic swimmer. Okay, that's what you want. Like not I want to be the best in the world. Okay, what does that mean? I want to be an Olympic swimmer. Okay, what does it take to be an Olympic swimmer? Well, you got to be the best, like Michael Phelps. You got to clearly outdo yourself by dedicating. And he did 2 workouts. I heard his workout routine was insane. But that's what it takes. That's what it takes. But it's clarity to what is that goal to begin with. What are you actually wanting? What do you want? You need clarity. And then it's focus. And then just hyper focus and never giving up. Just
And then the courage to change when you need to change and adjust when you need to adjust. It's a process for sure.
It is a process. So let Coach and myself help you out if we can. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe or connect with us on LinkedIn. Again, we are Stacey Barnes, connect with, or myself, DJ Flores. Again, just connect. We will take any calls. We'd love to just chat. You see, we do really enjoy just chatting and talking and getting people out of their way. Again, we just really want to help you. This game of life, I'll say it, and I'll keep saying it over and over again. Game of life really is a secret that's in this box that we will get to. But the game of life is you versus you. There's no comparison. Once you start worrying about any outside forces, well, this person's doing this, and look at what you lose. That's it. Give up. It's you versus you. What did you do yesterday? How can you be better today? And even if you just increase a little bit each day, that's all it takes. That is all it takes. And even just focusing on that alone makes you better than, I forget what the percentage is, but a large percentage of the population, just by focusing on little improvements every day. So it's just minor habits. It's minor. And most of the time, at least for me in my world, it was not what else can I add to do better, but what do I need to stop doing? Like breaking down my day and what do I need to remove? Like this is not benefiting me at all. What do I need to stop doing and stop doing it right away?
Everybody listening needs to learn to say no to the right things.
Yes.
To the things you're supposed to say no to.
Yeah. Coach, take us out, and then we'll hit them with the new outro song. Hopefully y'all like it.
Along the lines of what you were just saying there, if you do want to kind of get a scorecard on where you are within your business or the team you may be leading or the things you're doing now, at the website listed there, CoachStaceyB.com, there's a scorecard. Absolutely no cost or no commitment or anything. Just it'll give you a quick gauge on where you are with your leadership and how your team cohesiveness really is. It gives you about 4 or 5 different nice categories of what you're doing, but you can determine where you are on that path of growth for yourself. And again, it's no obligation or anything. It's just something that I put out there for free for the world to try to help out.
We want to help you outgrow the charts, y'all. We do just want to help you grow to be the best you can be. I truly believe we all have some sort of special gift. We were born with it. That's why we're here. If you're here, there's a reason you're here. And if you're unsure, let us unlock that for you. We really do want to help you take yourself to the next level. The game of life, if you can just think of it as a game and you're just working to make this ego, this meat bag, this body, this person, the best that it could be, there's a way to do it. And it's not very secretive. I mean, just follow the ones and the path that people have done before, and it's really just reaching out and saying, hey, can you help me do this? And you'd be surprised what people are really willing to do. Everybody, hopefully you all enjoyed it. Again, the Robinhood Capitalists, we really are just on a mission to help you be your best self. We want to help you unlock this box, get out of it, focus on it and work from it on the outside and not try to work from it from the inside. Because if you can imagine, if you're stuck inside this box and you're looking at all these colors, you have no clue which way to go. But from the outside, you can really focus on it. And just the same thing as working on your business.
It's like a million different combinations, but there's one in there that works if you have to focus.
Yes. So until next time, y'all, the Robinhood Capitalists, keep feeding the good wolf. Coach Stacey B, we're out.
Business can't give me anything that I need. Give me the new money. Give me the new money. check won't do it. Another watch won't prove it. You can't hold on to it, but I'm feeling